Good evening, sir. Yuvraj sir, shall I start? Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, ma'am. So, shall I start?
Sure, ma'am.
Fine. Okay. So, can anyone tell me what I discussed yesterday? Yes. What we have seen yesterday?
Matrix and array,
Matrix and array. Right.
data frame.
And data frame. Right. So, means we have seen now all the 6 types of data structures in
Data
R.
structures.
Yes. That means the container which can store multiple values. Right. So, every data structure is different from each other. This is what we have understood by understanding all 6 kind of data structures in last 2 days. Today I'm going to talk about functions and packages, right? So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen first and then we'll see. Okay. Okay, I think I shared my screen. It is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll start the day 4 and we'll talk about the function first, right? So I think so far we have seen some of the functions, right? And we know this thing when we talk about functions. Functions is a kind of facility. For that, we do not need to write any program. These are the inbuilt facilities available in these type of softwares. So we can only use those particular functions by their name. You need to only know what parameters you need to pass inside that particular function, and that way you can take work from that function for whatever work it is developed or meant, or what I can say created by the developers, right? So this is function. Function is generally a facility kind of thing which helps us to perform specific task, right? So many time it happens we are doing some what I can say same kind of thing. So rather than writing the code for them, we can use those function easily, which is already available in the environment of R, right? So this way, this is known as function. Then talking about the types of functions. So when I say types, there is generally user-defined functions and the basic or by default functions. Means when I say the last one, I'll discuss this one, the basic one or the by default one firstly, and then we'll understand the user-defined functions, right? So when we say basic functions, basic functions are the functions which is already developed or coded or have already created by the previous developers, right? So basic functions just So basic functions already developed. Functions in the R environment, right? I think so far we have seen so many different kind of functions. So we know only with the name we can perform that type of task using those functions. So I think you people are able to recall some of the functions. So anyone who can tell me some of the names?
R bind, C bind.
Yes. Good. I think Soumya ma'am, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Apart from this, what else we have seen?
Rep, repetition,
Okay, rep function,
list,
list, very good. Then then
and call str,
sequence,
tr, very good.
sequence,
Sequence, very good. What else? C function we have seen,
yeah, C function,
head we
then
have seen,
class,
tail we have seen, very good. Class we have seen, type of we have seen, right? Array we have seen,
vector,
that I have written C, SEQ, REP,
yes,
STR metric, summary, class, tail, head, C bind, R bind, print, right? Anything else? Anything else we have seen so far?
ma'am, length,
Length, right, very correct. Data frame we have seen. Length we have seen, very correct. So I think these are the very basic functions which we have discussed, right? Means these functions for the using these functions, or we do not need to write any kind of code. It is already done by the previous persons or developers, and that way these are available in the environment of R. So we can call them by their name. We need to only know what parameters, etc. we need to pass, and that way we can take work from this kind of function. These are basic functions, right? Now, when we talk about this R software from the point of view of research, so I think most of you, those who are belonging to the academics fraternity, they are generally joining this program for understanding how we can use R for the analytics purpose, right? Or analysis of the data purpose. So now we'll see some of the functions which can help you for doing this simple kind of analysis, right? So for example, to understand this, firstly, I'll make you understand the concept of descriptive statistics. I hope it is heard and known to every one of you. Everyone has heard this term.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any idea who can share the idea about descriptive statistics with me? Yes. Anyone? Okay. No idea? Okay. I think Kavita madam has written in chat mean median. Okay. Mode, etc. Fine. What do you understand by descriptive statistics? Anyone?
Ma'am, it describes about the data set that we have with us.
Okay. I think
The
Soumya,
way the data, yeah.
yes, very correct. When we talk about descriptive statistics, this is so when we talk about descriptive statistics, we can say the statistics or this statistics is the better word. Help us to summarize the data or to describe the characteristics of data. We use descriptive statistics. After cleaning of the data, this is the very first thing which we are performing on the data. After cleaning means removing the missing values or dealing with the missing values, removing the outliers, or maybe what I can say, to whatever means, suppose we are having any text data available with you, character data available with you. So in that case, there are so many problems with that. People are not, if they are entering something, so probably they are creating problems. Some of people will write one word in the lower case, another in the upper case, anything. This kind of problems can be there. So we need to make our data in a good or proper form. So that way we are clean our data, right? So after cleaning of the data, we are performing firstly the descriptive statistics to understand the nature of the data. What type of data we are having? What are the characteristics of that data? So that further we can decide which statistical test we need to perform further on that data, or using that data, which type of test, statistical test we can use, or we can test which kind means we can what I can say, or understanding that this type of data I'm having, so whether I can apply a particular test on that data or not. This is what we are trying to understand using the descriptive statistics, right? So as Kavita ma'am has already written in the chat, when I talk about this descriptive statistics, so there are various methods available. Using those methods, we are trying to describe the characteristics of the data. These methods are known as measures of anyone?
Central tendency.
Central tendency. And we know this thing, measures of central tendency.
Measures of dispersion.
Yeah, yeah, very correct. So when I talk about measures of central tendency, that means we want to get a central point of the data. So that way we will get what is the approximate value, or what will be the single value which is representing the complete data set. So that way we are using certain measures. So ma'am has already written that mean, median, and mode. Next comes measures of dispersion. So measures of dispersion meaning is what? The
How it
Range.
distributed the data between the extremes.
no, it is variance
Variance.
or deviation.
Standard deviation.
Yes, or you can say scatteredness.
Standard deviation.
Yeah, that is the
Mean
method.
deviations.
Yeah, that is the method, right? So when we talk about measures of dispersion, so purpose of the measure of dispersion was generally we want to see the variance or deviation or the scatteredness in the data, usually from the mean, right? So from mean, whether the all the data points are similar to the mean, or if not, so what is the deviation, average deviation is coming, that we are looking or finding using the measures of dispersions, right? So as ma'am said, there are methods like standard deviation, variance, coefficient of variance. Apart from that, there is range, there is interquartile range. So there are various different measures available. Using that we can calculate or find the deviation in the data, dispersion in the data, right? So these are the some of the methods I have written. Apart from that, there is one more measure or method available known as measures of,
Skewness.
yes, distribution. That means using this we want to see the distribution of the data, and for that we will calculate the skewness and kurtosis of the data, right? So this will help you to understand the what is the distribution of the data. So when I say skewness is what? Study of asymmetry. Whether your data is symmetrical to your mean or not. So I think you people are knowing about the normal distribution in the bell-shaped curve. Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. So you have seen the bell-shaped curve, and we know this thing. When we talk about the normal distribution or the bell-shaped curve, the mean is generally lying at the middle. So the middle line will be the mean line, and we are expecting 50% data should be at the right side of the mean, and 50% data should be at the left side of the mean. But if this proportion varies, right, there is an imbalance in the proportion. That way, we can say data is not symmetrical to mean, right? So this study we are doing using the skewness, right? Skewness can be, it can be positive or negative. So with the help of symbol, if symbol is coming negative, you can call it as a negative kurtosis, negative skewness. Or if you're getting the plus symbol, you can call it as a positive skewness, or data is positively skewed. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Further, talking about the kurtosis, right? Right. So now when I say kurtosis is nothing but it is a study of thickness, that is sharpness, bell-shaped curve, and of tails also, tails of the bell shape. So when we want to see which type of, because if you have seen the curve, that is bell shape, it can be very broad also, it can be narrow also. So this way kurtosis will help you to study this kind of thing, right? So using the kurtosis we can understand whether the curve is okay, means normally distributed or not. So there are three types of kurtosis named as mesokurtic data, generally we can call it, or we can call it as a leptokurtic data, and third is platykurtic, right? So these are the few things which you need to keep in your mind to understand the distribution of the data, sorry, to understand the nature of the data. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Give me a second. I need to put a message in the students group. Fine. So this way, these are the different measures. Using that, we can understand the uh, simple nature of the data, and accordingly we can proceed for the further advanced statistical test, right? So as I was talking about the functions in statistics, there are functions. Sorry, in R there are functions which can help us to get all these values, right? So, for example, if I talk about the measures of central tendency. So I need to calculate the mean. So for the purpose, firstly, I'm creating a vector, like numeric vector, right? I'll store certain values inside this. So randomly enter few figures in your vector. Any name you can provide to your vector, up to you. So done. In my case, it has taken It is the numeric vector taken 13 elements, right? You can see in the environment. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I want to get the mean of the vector, right? So there is a function called mean. When I will write mean of x and press enter, it will return me the mean. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, when I will use the median function, I'll enter. It is returning me the median value, right? Then measures of dispersion. So suppose I want to get the standard deviation. I'm writing x, pressing enter. It is returning me the standard deviation in the vector axis 19.81. Similarly, variance of x, it is 392.4744. So generally variance is nothing but it is the square
Square.
of standard deviation, right? Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the very simple statistics I have performed. I have to check skew. I think it will be there in the one of just yeah. I think this is a function which is not available directly. I think there it is a statistics or stats library. In from that library, you need to download the function first to get the skewness value. So this is I'm keeping on hold. We will get it after understanding the package, right? So this way, I think I have performed very basic types of statistics or descriptive statistics on the particular variable. Now, if suppose I think you people are knowing the concept of missing value, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone can tell me what is missing value?
In our data set, if any of the items are not, there is no value as such, there is no response,
Yeah,
then we call it as a missing value and we give a larger value to the cell so that we have it as an error element.
good. So that means when we say missing value means missing is it is not available with you. That is missing value, right? So it is quite possible that when we are collecting the data, we are also having some missing value in the variables or in the data, right? So now in that case, how or whether these functions will work or not, that we will see, right? So here now I am writing missing value. When we say missing value, generally it is represented by this. That is capital NA, that is capital NA and NaN, right? These are the two things which we are using for representing the missing values in R, right? For example, I'm creating another vector, suppose, with certain missing values. Done? So this time there are 15 observations, including 2 missing values in my vector X. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Now let's see with the mean function. It is returning me NA. I hope you are also getting NA.
Yes, ma'am.
That means,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, that means when we are having a variable or a vector which is having missing values inside it, in that case, mean will not work like this. So there will be change in the syntax. Here I'll write this, and then na dot rm, remove na, sorry, equals to true. This I need to activate, right? Or I need to write that na dot rm, that remove na or missing values is true, right? When I'm pressing enter, you can see it is showing me the mean, right? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, if I want to get the median, so again the problem is same. Median will also not work with this. So you need to use the same pattern or syntax to get the median also. Similarly, for the standard deviation also will follow the same thing. Done? For variance also, we are following the same thing. I think simple.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done by everyone?
Done, ma'am.
Done. Now, if I want to access the position of the missing value, or I want to get how many missing values are there, right? So there is a function called which getting me? Which is dot na in X. So it is showing me at position number 9 and 11, we are having the two missing values, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is returning me. So means it is like we are doing accessing the position of missing values in vector. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
This is to get total number of missing values in vector, which is sum of is dot na of x. So is dot na means whether the missing is available in x. Yes, so it will count them, and then sum of that will be the answer. That is, two missing values are existing in the x. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So yesterday, I think, okay, yeah. Yesterday, I think I told you one of the existing data set available in R. Can any one of you name that?
Motor car, mat car.
Yes, empty cars. Right. Suppose I'm storing the empty cars vector, sorry, cars data set or maybe data frame in X, right? Now, suppose I want to get the mean. I think anyone who can recall the number of numeric columns available in this empty cars? Visible, I hope, right? Visible, right? मशीन चल रहा है पक्का 2 दिन से याद कर रही हूँ मैं आपको.
हाँ मैं भी याद कर रही थी
यूजुअली कैबिन में ही बैठे
तो कल मिलते हैं. Okay. So I think you can see these are the listed columns or variables available in the empty cars data. I want to get the mean for the HP. What is the average of HP in the empty cars? Anyone who can do this for me? Anyone?
Ma'am, I have run it. I do not know whether it is right or wrong.
What's
Mean
the
of
answer?
x with a square bracket, comma 4.
Mean of
No, no.
X?
Initially, a round bracket itself, ma'am. Mean of
After mean of X,
x,
brackets, comma.
4.
This is what you have written.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Fine. What about others? Any other way you have identified to get it? Yes. Anyone? Mean of empty cars. Piramal sir, have you got the answer when you written mean of empty cars? Okay, okay. Any other way? Anyone who can suggest the other way? I hope you have seen. Done. So using the dollar also we can access the columns of any data frame. Getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about others? Are you people are also here? I think listening me, right? Clear? Fine, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So this way, in a data frame for any specific variable, you want to get the mean or median or mode, etc. You can use these different ways of getting the mean for from that particular data or from that particular data frame, and then for the column you can get all these things. So I think it is easy. Shall I proceed with the next thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now we'll talk about user defined functions. So when we say user defined functions, so I think from name itself it is quite understanding or understandable for us, right? User defined functions are what? Yes. Anyone who can?
We store the functions, ma'am, for time being.
Sorry.
We store the functions as required for time being.
Yes, that means we being a user, suppose we are finding this particular function is not available in the our environment, and suppose regularly we are doing the same kind of task, right? So rather than every time writing the code or every time what I can say means getting some trouble, keeping yourself in the trouble. Rather than that, you can identify that what will be the code of that. So you can develop your own function. You can store that, and only you need to run this or execute this. In that way, you can take the work from that function. That is user-defined function. We for our use is defining any function, and that way we can take its help or we can take the working from it whenever it is needed. It is known as user-defined functions, right? For example, so I think for this, generally we are using the loop kind of thing, right? So we are using the if loop, for loop, or while loop. Generally, these are the loops which we are using to create or to define the functions, right? And then there are certain keywords, like function is one of the keyword which we are means this is a reserve word in R. So that way, if you are rewriting function, so it is giving a indication to R that a particular person is using this particular keyword for developing a function. Fine, clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, suppose we want to create a function for returning the cube of any number. Then so the way I'm writing is, you can see, suppose I have given the name to my function as cube. Using the function keyword, I have given in the what I can say indication to R. I want to create a function, right? And when I am talking about the loop and all, I need to use the curly brackets. So I did this, right? And suppose I am writing here I is equals to suppose n into n into n, and then you are printing your I. Done. So here we have passed only the single parameter. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose I'm writing cube of 10. It is coming 1000. I'm writing cube of 18. It is coming this 5832. So by name you can call, and as we have need to pass only single parameter, I passed only the single parameter 10 or 18 or whatever, for whatever number I want to get the cube. So it is defined. So if somewhere I want to use means execute this, I need to firstly define in that particular script. This is a R script. So firstly, one time I need to define this, and whenever I'll call this function with the name cube, passing a single parameter, it will return me the result. Is it okay?
Ma'am, will this be temporary or it is permanent for us?
Temporary means if you will save this in your R script, you will open the same R script. So suppose entire day you're working on a same R script. So only once you need to execute this. If you're not cleaning your environment, that will be stored there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So now the task for you. Create a function for square root of a number. Done? Anyone who has performed this?
चलो देखते हैं, लेट्स सी, होपिंग फॉर द बेस्ट है ना, क्योंकि वो इंटरनली मैंने पूछा है, नाम नहीं बता पाऊंगा, स्टडी कर पाऊंगा सॉरी, लेकिन वो मेरी अंदर से मुझे नहीं निकल रही ये आरएनडी में किसको जो करेक्ट है, लेकिन क्या हुआ फिर मुझे वो क्लियर होगा थोड़ी याद एक सीधी बात है कि प्रॉब्लम है ना, मैं गाइड को समझ में मत योगा मिलेगा लेकिन और जो काम देना होगा वो हाँ इंटरनेट नहीं करती यार
Anyone?
हम सिर्फ बोल दीजिए वो करेगा।
Okay, someone has written. Let me check.
और मुझे समझ में आ रहा है इसलिए मैंने
Okay. So, Anup sir, meaning is simple. Square root function is already available, but without using the square root function, can we do this? Yes. Anup sir, if without using the square root function, because it is already available. So suppose the function is not available. In that case, you want to create a program. So how will you will create? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope you understood, Anup sir. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So for example, now next task is for you. Now you need to create a function to get the sum of two digits number. Means the number who is of two digits. You need to get the function which is adding the digits of the function and returning with the value. Firstly, you need to think the logic behind this. What the logic you will put? Because when you talk about user-defined function, these are generally based on the logics. So you need to understand this thing, that if you want to get the sum of the two-digit numbers, two-digit number, so what you need to do? Can anyone tell me what will be the logic? Anyone? I hope everyone is listening to me. Any logic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any logic which is coming in your mind? I think in our school times we have done these kind of things. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Travel
So,
long way.
yes, that is correct. True, very true. But still, uh,
I tried this way, ma'am, but I got it wrong. Function of xy somewhere so that I will be x plus y,
okay,
but that didn't work. It is showing an error.
okay, fine. Means you tried. What about others? I think everyone is trying. So, can anyone tell me what is your logic? Okay, I try to do this. Suppose, as I said, suppose there is a number 16, for example. So, what should it written?
7.
7. Very correct. So that means what I need to do? I need to store 6 and 1 separately,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And then I need to add them. This is the thing which I need to do, right or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So now if this is the situation, now think how you will mean separately save 1 and 6. Now think from this point of view. Hmm? Let's try. I think it's function n. I think till here no problem, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now when I say it's as it is a 2-digit number, so I think this will store what? The remainder, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think there's a function called floor. I think I'll need to check whether it will work or not. Running, no problem in the syntax. So passing 16 only. Yes. Returning. Now suppose. Yes. Understood the concept what I did? Anyone?
Because the first digit is in the tens place, we have divided it by 10 and took the
As
remainder.
it is a 2-digit number, I said 2-digit. I said no. Yeah. So 2-digit, that means you will divide it by 10, right? So suppose 16 is divided by 10. So remainder will be 6. 6 is stored here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, when I'm dividing a number by 10, 16 divided by 10, it will return me 1.6. So floor will, what I can say, seal, what I can say. means it will round off and will keep only the main point or main part of the number, and points it will be dropped. So it will be storing 1, right? And then I have added I plus j. Getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about Soumya ma'am?
Got it, ma'am, but very difficult to do it on own.
So okay, so the next task again I'm giving, which is now create a function to get a sum of 3-digit number now. Try that. If not,
Hope this we can copy, ma'am. It's easy only, I guess.
which one? The upper one?
No, ma'am. 3-digit. I'll try, ma'am.
Have you performed for the 2-digit?
Yes, ma'am.
Working, executed successfully? So
Yeah, yes,
now
ma'am.
taking the same thing, because you need to see only. This time you divided by 10 because the number was 2-digit. This time it is a number of 3 digits. So you need to divide it by 100. This will be the logic. But there will be certain more steps. Getting? Piramal sir has raised the hand. Sir, do you want to ask me something? Okay, sir is asking me the utility of the function of this function. I have only told you these are the user-defined function which we can create for our own purposes, sir. Right? So for that sake, I have told you that these type of functions we can create. Getting me? So these are the ways of creating the functions in our environment. So this is only I told you from that point of view. Okay. So are you people doing this 3-digit number, or shall I proceed?
Doing, ma'am.
Okay. If not interested means if it is not what I can say useful, we can leave it. You can try your own. I have given you the problem. We'll proceed further. Right? Okay. Anyone who can tell me what do you understand by term data visualization?
Charts, graphs.
Means the visualization of the data through the charts and graphs, through the pictorial representation we are displaying or presenting the data is known as data visualization, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There are multiple graphs which are available, or multiple types of charts available. So as I was discussing priorly, what I can say, basic function. So there is a basic function named as bar plot. So suppose I want to create a bar plot. I'm writing certain values here. I hope you have seen what I did. I only passed a vector with certain numbers, right? And then you can see it has created a bar plot for me, right? Is it fine? So when we are using the call parameter is for defining the color vector, right? So that way, these numbers are dedicated in that case for a particular color. 1 is for the black, 2 is for the pink, 3 is for the green, 4 is for the cyan. So that way you can see, right? If you will changing the number, you will get some different colors. Getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone has made it?
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, suppose you want to create a pie chart, you can use a function called pie. Got it? Similarly, color vector also you can pass. Again, then
Yes, ma'am.
shall I proceed?
Yes.
Similarly, this is histogram using the hist function. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we'll talk about packages in R. So when we say packages is nothing but it's a collection of functions of similar work type, right? So we can install and use different kind of packages in R. So for example, I think as I said at the day one, there are almost 30,000, more than 30,000 functions packages are available in the R environment. Using those packages, you can get a work according to your convenience, whatever type of work you want to get. So for that, there are specific functions, packages available. You can install them and you can take the help of them to perform your task, right? So I think n number of packages available, but we cannot install each and every one because these packages will consume memory, right? So whenever you are needing them, you can install them, and afterwards, if you wish, you can uninstall also, right? So for example, there is a function called ggplot2. No, it is, I mean to say package called ggplot2. Then dplyr deploy package is there. Then stats package is there. Then I think cars package is there. Then tidy r is available. Then means there are multiple, according to the need, there are multiple types of packages available, right? If I say, for example, deploy or maybe the ggplot2. So this is the package which we are using for plotting or for the data visualization purpose, right? It is having so many different functions. Using that, you can create a very attractive kind of graphs, right? As I said at the day one, when I was talking in context to the graphics and all, I said this thing to you that using the R, we can create a very what I can say advanced and the better looking graphs, which can give you more clarity. So generally, this particular package of R, which is ggplot2, is very famous for the creation of such kind of graphs, right? So how to import or how to install a package in R? So there are certain methods. Installation of a package. So the first name is the first function is install dot packages, right? Inside this, in the double quote, you need to give the name of your package. Then,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you need to press Control Enter. I am not doing so because it is already installed in my environment. So once you will do so, in few seconds, it will, or all the related functions or the, what I can say, dependencies are there, all will be loaded here in the R environment. Done? Process performed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So once you're installing the package, right, you can see there is one more option available in the fourth window. You can see in the fourth window, it is written the third option, third tab is the packages. You can click on this. Visible. You can see there are so many different packages are available. In my case, you can see dplyr is already installed. So you can find a check box is checked here. Similarly, ggplot2 is also there, right? Same way you can find in your case also, right? So once I'll click on this cross button, you can see it will this will remove, sorry, this will remove the package from my library. Getting me? Done.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Is there any difference between ggplot and ggplot2?
Priorly, the name was ggplot, sir, and ggplot is one of the functions inside the ggplot2 package.
Okay, because I was trying to load this ggplot, but it was giving me error.
It is ggplot2. Ggplot is a function inside the ggplot2.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Then you can see there is one more button available. I think you can see I'm rotating my mouse, named as install. Visible? You can click on this. So once you will clicking on this, this install packages button will open. And if you're knowing the name of the package, you can type that name and you can click on the install. So this is the other way of installing the package in R, right? So you can find there are n number of packages available, right? These all are the packages available in R.
Ma'am, few of them are ticked. What does that mean?
These are by default available there. Suppose you have seen, once I have written install, sorry, spelling is wrong. It's install dot packages. You can find utils is a kind of package and it is already ticked. So that is
Yes.
why I'm able to use this function. If it is not ticked, that means it is not installed in my environment. I cannot use this package. I cannot use this function.
Okay. So once I run the installation of ggplot2, I should find it also a tick mark, no ma'am?
Yeah.
I did not get a tick mark. I have installed it.
Okay. Wait a minute. So after this, try with this library and then type ggplot2 and then enter.
Okay.
Control enter.
Yes,
Done?
ma'am. Mhm.
Now see the changes. Ticked.
Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that means installation means you are bringing a package or you're installing a package in the R memory. And if you want to use presently that particular package or the functions of that particular package, you need to bring in the global environment. This is the global environment, right? You can see the name is written here, global environment. So
Yes.
that way, if this function will be available, this package will be available in the global environment, you can access the functions of this particular package. Is it clear? So two things you need to do. Firstly, you need to install the package and then you need to bring that package into the global environment of R if you want to access the functions of that package. Fine?
Okay.
Fine. So as we have done the ggplot2, okay, I'll start with, I'll show you a small graph using the ggplot2, right? So for example, when I say ggplot2 is a package, inside this there is a function called ggplot. So suppose I'm writing question mark ggplot, pressing Control Enter. You can see it will give you the description of this particular function, and arguments you can find. It is asking you to provide the data, it will asking you to give the mapping, etc. So this way you can see, this way you can write your this particular function with these particular parameters. So this is a way that we using this particular window of help, you can understand what this particular function is all about, and that way you can also get the syntax if you're unable to recall it, right? So when I say ggplot, there are generally 7 layers. So first layer is, I'll show you. If I write ggplot, right, inside this first layer is asking you to give the name of your data. So suppose I have written data equal MT cars. After that, I need to do the mapping. That is aesthetics I need to use. So I'm using AES parameter. Inside this, you need to pass the name of your variables. For that, you want to plot a graph. So suppose I want to plot a graph for MPG and HP. Right? Done. Then I'm writing ggplot under suppose point. Yes. Just a minute. Done. ggplot point is there. It's saying out there. Just a minute. Point is there for the scatter plot, I guess. It is not, it is geom. I think I was writing wrongly here. It's geom. Yeah, geom underscore point. Yes. Getting? I have passed 3 layers. In the first place, I have passed the name of the data from which the ggplot will take the data. Then I have defined my axes here in the aesthetics. And then using the geom underscore point, I have given an instruction. I want to create a scatter plot. Right? Clear? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope everyone has made it without any hurdle.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So I think every one of you is knowing why we are using the scatter plot. Yes or no? What will be the interpretation of this graph?
To find the correlation.
Very good. To find the relationship between the variables, or to depict or to display the relationship, because it's a visual. So to display the relationship between the variables, we are using the scatter plot. So you can see MPG and HP both are there. That way you can see what is the relationship is coming out. Right? Anyone who can comment on the relationship?
We can say that it's a negative relationship between the two.
Yes.
If one increases, the other decreases.
Decreases. Very correct. Right, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So this way, using these layers, you can create various kind of graphs. There are so many different other ways, or what I can say, types available under the geo. You can see line, area, axis, bar, bind, blank, box plot. These all you can create using the ggplot function of the ggplot2 package. It is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, there is a function called deployer. So you need to install these two, because I am not doing or not installing because I already have these. Done? Done?
Done, ma'am.
Okay, what about others?
Done, ma'am.
Okay, so you need to type question mark and then write deployer and see what is coming. Read it. It is nothing but it is a software which is helping you for the manipulation of the data. Right? Getting me? You can read it. Who have
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, who have developed this package, the name is also there. Right? So for example, if I want to do some manipulation in the empty cards data, shall I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So suppose I am creating an object named as data support, and from the empty cards, I want to filter empty cards for the VS. I think we have seen what was the VS. VS is the engine type, right? So I want to filter the empty cards for the V-shaped engines. Done? Done? And I want to select for all the cars or all the vehicles which are V-shaped, which are having the V-shaped engine. For them, I want to select the MPG, displacement, HP, and the weight. Done? Okay, I think symbol is not correct. This will be the symbol. Just a minute, I forgot to write the correct symbol. Symbol is what? Percent greater than percent. Right? This is the symbol. Percent greater than percent. Done? I hope you people have done this. Yes or not? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to arrange this in DISC, descending order of HP. Sorry, not PH, it's HP. Done?
It's showing an error, ma'am. Object HP not found.
HP is not found. Okay, just a minute. Now, using this,
Same error, ma'am.
getting the same error.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? But I think I'm not getting. What about others? Yes, I'm getting the output also. These number or these are the models which are V-shaped, and these are their MPG, miles per gallon, displacement, HP, and the weights. Okay, anyone who has got any
I
error?
got it, ma'am. Got it, ma'am. At the end, I did not put that percentage greater percentage symbol.
Okay.
I didn't see you adding that to the
Okay, fine,
statement.
fine. Means you can write in a single line also, not necessary to enter, but so that you people can see in a when a better manner I entered it.
But how do we enter this, ma'am? Because it is truly, I mean, we are not in a position to understand why you wrote all those percentage greater than.
Okay, this is you can see, suppose this is the, what I can say, the database or the data frame, right? From this, means this is a syntax, ma'am. In deploy, this is a kind of syntax. So I want to take out something from this. So I have used this, what I can say, this is known as piping. So this is percent greater than percent I used. And then using that, I want to filter, means I am referring this. So this way you can see I am not repeating empty cars anywhere now. Only one way, this is the main way I have defined, this is empty cars. Now using the variable of this, now I'm working on the entire thing. So I'm saying I want to filter empty cars for VS equals to 0. Then for the empty cars, once after the filtering of VS equals to 0, now I want to select certain columns which are MPG, displacements, HP, and weight. Then after this extraction of these 4 columns, I want to arrange the data into the descending order of HP. So you can see in the output, all the HP values are listed in the descending order. Accordingly, remaining values will be adjusted. Getting me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Feeling like ma'am is saying unwillingly yes.
What you said is understood, ma'am, but how will we use? Because we can't practically write this, I'm sure.
I think you can, no problem in that. Do I need to give you a situation?
Today, no, ma'am, please.
Okay. So in that case, how you will practice? If it is a very fresh, if you will practice right now, it will be good.
It seems overloaded today, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I'm keeping till here only. Fine. What about others?
We agree with ma'am.
Fine, fine. Got it. Okay, no issues. I'm stopping discussing all these things right now. I will not discuss, but I request, if you're having any queries, what I discuss, you please ask. Yes. Okay, I understood, Purnima ma'am. I got a similar kind of response. I understood. No problem. Means now I understand when I'm teaching in class, students are saying, ma'am, now please stop. So I can understand this. Okay. No questions for the day.
Whatever is given by you is understood, ma'am. But
Hmm.
coming to application, there is always a question mark in the mind. Even I was not able to finish that 3-digit counting. So my mind is actually there, and we are moving on to visualization, and my mind is still stuck there.
Got it. Fine. So, okay, Aparna ma'am has written something. Where can we find the specifics of how to write the syntax for this package? How do we know? Okay, ma'am, this is known as piping. If you're extracting something from any particular data frame or any particular data set, so this type of piping you need to use. Say, for example, my faculty who has taught me, he said it is a like suppose there is a supply of water through a pipe, right? So there will be the main source, and main source is in our case is the empty cars. From that source we will club so many different lines, right? So that is why to indicate this thing we are using this piping. It is not routine across the data sets and not specific. Okay, it is specifically in case of when you are manipulation is when you are doing using the deploy. In that case this is a syntax. Okay, thank you, ma'am. No other doubt? Yes, it supports. Generally means, I think, what Dinesh sir has written, does R support call by reference in function? Mm, I think no. It is not directly supporting. It is supporting call by value. Getting, sir? Hmm. Yes. Uh, Probably there is a package. You need to identify the package name for this. To bridge this gap, there is a package available, Dinesh sir, I think. You need to identify, you need to find the name of the package. Fine, sir. Okay, no doubt, friends. Dinesh sir, it is fine. Okay, I think. Okay, so if no doubt, so can we call off the meeting? Fine. Okay, so good night, everyone. It is all from my side for the day.
Good night, ma'am.
Yeah,
Good night.
welcome, ma'am.
Night,
Good
ma'am.
night, Anup sir. We'll be meeting tomorrow and we'll talk about, I think, the distributions in using R, right? Fine. So thank you, everyone, once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Vibhuli, ma'am. No, Vibhuni, ma'am. Okay, Vibhuni, ma'am, from where you are?
From Nagaland, ma'am.
From Naga.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So I think, Yogra sir, are you there? Yogra sir, are you there? Okay, so friends, I think we can leave the meeting. Probably sir is not there or maybe busy on call or somewhere. So good night, everyone. We are meeting tomorrow on the at the same time.